now listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello. Welcome you guys to the Good Bad Advice Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Chase.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we give unsolicited advice to people in the news each week. And this is a very special week.
Yes.
We are celebrating the 31st year of our Lord and Savior, Stephanie Page. You've legally changed your last name?
No.
Okay. Stephanie Darrow. I don't know. Should we be putting your legal last name on here?
No,
we just
fine.
did. Sorry. You could beep it out if you want to.
Stephanie
Unnecessary
Schmero.
censorship of the episode would be a funny bit.
It would be so easy to find me.
Yes.
Honestly.
That's true. So we're so excited to celebrate you. We're going to hear all about your birthday. But before we get into it, if you're watching on Spotify or on YouTube, you're going to see that our sponsor for today's episode, which is the Sweet Tooth Fairy, actually sent a gorgeous cake for Stephanie's birthday.
Truly stunning. Please, stop where you're listening. And maybe we'll put it in the carousel.
Yeah,
but
we'll do a carousel pic for sure.
It's so gorgeous and so me. It has little flowers on it and lemon squares and lemon everything. And what I will say about Sweet Tooth Fairy, okay, often you will pay for these gorgeous decorative cakes from people. And it's like a friend of a friend, a Facebook Marketplace, or something. The way that her cakes, the tiered cakes can often be so disappointing.
Yes, because they're going for aesthetic and not taste.
It's supposed to be gorgeous.
Yeah.
Her cakes taste divine every single time. Every single time I have a Sweet Tooth Fairy cake, it's gorgeous, it's fun, it's the perfect birthday cake, but then it also tastes delicious. Yeah. Which normally you're get me a sheet cake. You cannot find that other places.
Agreed.
Where it's actually going to taste good if it's a tiered cake, and it does.
Yes, and the thing, Sweet Tooth Fairy is run by Megan Brown. Mm-hmm. They deliver nationwide cakes, treats, confections, candy, so you can get bars. Like yesterday, I got a s'more blondie from there. Fantastic.
So good.
I also have they have suckers, which I have a giant jar of suckers in my house because I love their suckers. They're just, great quality.
Perfect to bring into a movie.
They also do amazing cake bites. And so their cake bites are phenomenal if you're just sending someone a birthday thing. Easter's coming up. If you're oh gosh, what can I send them? Go to www.thesweettoothfairy.com and you can order all these treats and they ship local and nationwide. So if you're listening, our Midwest mama in Ohio, if you're listening, homegirl, get yourself a Sweet Tooth Fairy treat. Order on www.thesweettoothfairy.com.
And I feel they became so popular because of their cupcakes, which are incredible.
Which
and
they won.
amazing.
She won Cupcake Wars multiple times.
But you guys are sleeping on her other treats. Her sugar cookies,
phenomenal,
so perfect. She does a buttercream, I think, frosting on them. Oh my gosh, they're so good, you guys.
And if you're
cakes.
Utah, please go visit her. Her storefront shop is in Orem, just north of University Mall, right next to the Cinemark, the theater there. So if you're in Utah Valley, you're going to the movies, go in, snag a treat. She's also just one of the best people I've ever met in my entire life. And
she's
so
a
we're
sweet,
so
precious
happy.
Angel.
Yes.
Every time I see her, I'm could you be nicer?
I know.
Could you be more kind?
And most of the time when we say that to people, we genuinely mean it.
Yeah.
That one is a hypothetical. That's a rhetorical question.
Could you be any nicer and more genuine and kind?
Yes. So support good people, support good businesses. We will tag them. I'll put a picture of the cake in the carousel and then we'll tag Sweet Tooth Fairy. So just be sure. And
watch
then Steph
me this
and I,
whole episode just
no, literally. And I brought a knife and forks so that we can have a little slice after this is over. I just didn't want to make it look gross for the show. So tell us everything about your birth. Now Steph and I are celebrating. We have our traditions of how we celebrate each other's birthdays where we go to dinner and go to a movie. So we're doing that this week.
Yes.
So I've not been able to properly celebrate you. Yeah. Although people did see and love the tribute I gave you on social media.
Chase, that was so funny. I had people messaging me this is hilarious. Happy birthday. I'm I know. Sometimes I literally, and because it's my birthday, I'll say this and you have to say, no, that's not true. Sometimes I'm
no,
Chase,
you're way funnier.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's what it is.
I knew where you're heading.
I'm
I just thought
sometimes
for your
I'm
birthday,
Chase,
we don't even have to get there.
It's so funny. It doesn't pain me because I love you so much. When other people are funnier than me, I'm girl, get out.
No, literally,
I'm the comedian here.
I respect your sense of humor so much. So did we say on the last episode? I don't remember because I didn't listen back because I just had an insane week, which I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview. Yeah. Stephanie knows a little bit of the insane week, and then it was like just checking in on me multiple days to be like, any updates on your crazy case? Hey, just quick question. What time's that hearing? But did we say last week how I had made the joke about Rumble boxing? And how I had my delicate wrist, and that Stephanie validated it, the layered of it, and it meant so much because I was like, I respect her sense of humor. So when I posted on Instagram, just saying like, "Happy birthday, Stephanie! I'm gonna post pictures where I look really good, pictures of us where I look really good, and I'm gonna act like I'm posting it for your birthday." And then I did a whole series and talked about myself. When you wrote me immediately back, like you immediately responded and you were like, "I'm cackling. This is so funny." I was like, it just gassed me up. Like 10. You know, I could have just done like 3 pictures. All of a sudden 10's in there 10. Because of me.
What's so funny too, I feel like, especially with you, if I get you to cackle, I'm like, she's a comique.
Yeah, no, literally.
She is so funny. But then there's sometimes where I'll make people laugh that I'm like, oh, you don't know any funny people.
Totally. I'm just like, this is literally.
This is light work
This
for
is
me.
low hanging fruit.
I'm actually just like reworking a bit that I have. Like
totally. You're a test group for me to workshop material on. I'm not actually looking to make you laugh because I know you'll laugh at anything. There are a couple of friends that Steve and I have that we've met in various capacities. Definitely there's a handful of them that are kind of like, hey Chase, do the thing where you make everyone laugh. Like, just make me funny. Do it. Do you want to play games? Which whenever like we get invited, like with these certain people invite us places, we know that they're not really inviting us to like to genuinely, they're like, hey, we've had such a rough week. We're really looking forward to hanging out with you and just laughing. Yeah. Like, message received.
You're like,
I know
okay,
my utility.
let me just.
So I haven't even celebrate you.
I said this to my dad this week because he went on a cruise with a bunch of their friends from Colorado, and they're like trying to plan their next trip. And my mom and his wife are on the phone being like, oh, where should we go? And the guys in the background like, is Kevin coming? I want to go. Is Kevin coming? And I just said, it pays to be the court jester.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like,
Stephanie and I used to say a bunch growing up that we just want to be the funny friend that gets invited to the fancy trips and to be on a yacht. Yeah. Like, you need to laugh. We'll be the yacht friend. It's just like, oh, they're good time. Are they paying for this? Absolutely not. Yeah. Their payment is in their jokes.
No, like in me being a clown the entire time. And I will be the court jester to be on a yacht.
Like, if you're thinking about this, this is actually a PSA. If you're putting together an event and you're like, okay, what's the budget for the event? And you're like, okay, well, we need food, we need flowers, we need lighting, we need a photographer, we need funny people. Yeah. Like the entertainment should just also be covert guests who are just being really brought in to be entertaining, to make the party like X, Y, or Z. We're those people. Yeah. So if you're, where's my camera? The only
so
one.
There's that one.
Which am I? Okay, here. Okay. I'd just like to speak to local Salt Lake influencers, partiers. Contact us to just come to your event. We don't have a huge following.
Like, don't you remember my F-bombs for Jesus?
No, literally.
That girl never will forget that.
Never. And so I just think we offer something, one of our services that we offer
could do a live
the public.
Podcast.
We would, no, I'm just saying we don't even have to podcast. We're just there.
No, what I call a live podcast is me and you in a room together.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. I was thinking you were saying like we have to bring the equipment, and I'm like, no, girl, I do not even know how to take these off. I don't even know how we plugged these in. We did this like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so we haven't moved it.
You can upgrade your equipment. We have no idea how to take it down.
It doesn't work. I'm like, Tweven.
Whenever every now and then I'll check the monitor to make sure that the sound is moving, and then because I get paranoid that it's going to be really quiet, mostly because Cassie, hey, shout out girl, is always like, she's the one to write and be like, hey, the sound is a little bit off, just like FYI. Yeah. And so whenever I see it, I'm like, boop, beep, boop, beep. There we are. Okay, levels are back. We're good. And I don't even know what levels mean. No. Like, I just mean we're in the yellow and the green. No, like
there's a whole system over here.
It is so funny. We should. I don't even know how I would show you because it's all plugged into the wall. Yeah. But we really should be like, here's the rest. Here's what it really looks like. Random crap. All like what we look at is not. is not a glorious job at all. So that's what I was thinking. We're like having to bring our 2 box lights. Like, hey guys, like we're doing Pitch Perfect at an event, like where we're announcing. I just don't think that that's what we're offering to people. I want to be clear. We're just offering, we're the really interesting, zany, kind of wacky friends that are really funny, can read a room, can help elevate the vibrations. Yeah. But you just act like we're your normal guests. Yeah. And so you're like, hey, I just need you to say, and then you give us, like, we will even come up with backstories. Yeah. Like, hey, we were in AA together. We're so happy she's sober now. Like, oh, actually, this was when she was living abroad. I didn't know she lived abroad. Oh, she asked me not to talk about it. I'm so sorry. Like, you want to be more interesting? We have an entire dossier of material that can make you more interesting as the guest. You want us to be fun? You want us to start drama? Be like, well, I came here with Jason, but you know what he's doing in the bathroom. Wait, what? Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyways, bye, Claudia. Like, we have value that's not being realized by the Salt Lake community, Provo community, Park City community. I don't want to go to
specifically the Park City community. I would say.
Yeah, but that's such a drive.
And like the avenues.
Yeah, no, we're more like the avenues.
And the Park City in the summer, like.
Yeah, Park City in the summer. I'm
maybe
looking
early
like Jeremy
fall.
Ranch.
Totally.
Vibes. I feel like those people aren't utilizing us. And then like Lake Powell on a houseboat.
Yeah, Lake Powell, or
particularly during spring break when my kids are here.
A share house in Bear Lake.
Where is the share house at Bear Lake calling us? Like, you want us for a weekend? You need a weekend getaway?
Fun we could be.
We're also
at your
like,
share house in Bear Lake.
We could cook. I don't want to. Actually,
cook.
JK, we don't want. And Chase can cook.
And I can bake. Chase can cook though.
Yes, and you can bake, and you can.
Listen, I can follow a recipe.
Amen, sister.
I can be a sous chef. Yeah, I was like sous chef.
But see, this is part of our bit.
Sous chef.
I'm his sous chef. Sorry, she has a stutter.
He. I said it weird.
She says it funny. Do you guys say funny stuff? Like Janet, when you say you're my husband, but you really mean your ex-husband? Like, look at, we just created drama. Like, layered. Anyway, okay, so tell us about your birthday.
It's like in the back of both of our minds the entire time. We're like,
birthday, get us back to birthday, get us back to birthday. But then the front part of the brain is like, but we're having so much fun. We're not even on topic. Go yabba. That's what the front of my brain does. And then the back part of my brain is like, for the love of God, he needs to stop talking. Like, at some point we need to get on. You have got to go to church today.
Your inside out people is like Joy and then like a man in a suit being like.
Yeah, except Joy has 6 heads.
Neurotically rubbing his temples.
Yeah, Joy has 6 heads and it's picking her nose. That is just what the front of my brain sometimes is doing.
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
Back to your birthday. 31 and fun.
Birthday was good. I feel like I like my 30th year was like I was like, and I want this and I want this and then like I got to this birthday and I'm like, no, I feel like so happy and content. Which is not usually how I feel when I get to a birthday.
Yeah, because birthday blues are really common. Did you have any of those?
No birthday blues this year.
Wow, that honestly, slay.
A win's a win.
A win is a huge win.
I genuinely feel like I've never been happier than in my 30s. I don't know what that is. Like, I just am like, I have all of the actual wisdom that I thought I had in my 20s. That like, and I'm not worried about the things you have to worry about in your 20s. So I hope that we say that
every phase of life, that every year gets better and better. Yeah. And I think that that's an attitude thing. So good job, babe.
Although I will say the one I would say downer of my birthday, I took a picture later that night and I was like, oh, dear heavens. Okay.
Are you insane? Your skin is so tight.
No, literally though, this like one picture, just the way that the shadow was hitting, I had like 2 under eye full bags and I was like, okay, well, tonight I am ordering a retinol, a vitamin C, a new sunscreen.
Okay, but do you have a red light therapy mask?
No.
I want to get one. Do you want us to go halvesies? What if we did the show with both of us just like taking 10 minutes so then we can write it off?
Yeah.
Wait, if we do red light therapy, do they have a blue light therapy?
I don't
mask know. Because then we could do good bad and we both just wear it and then we swap.
I did go to Walter's. Exceptional.
Did you do the lemon gelato with the little honey and the sea salt?
I do miss when they did peaches with them though.
Oh, they don't do peaches. So they didn't do peaches for us either, but it could be seasonal.
It's seasonal. When their peaches are in season, they do the lemon gelato honey but the bottom is like fresh peaches.
Ugh, gorge.
You guys, if you have a special occasion coming up, just book Walters. Call and make a reservation. Book it. Like, it will be an expensive dinner, but like, honestly, the most premium, gorgeous food experience you will ever have. Every time I go, I'm like, I should go here more often. I mean, like, it's a special occasion place. Yeah. But, oh man, is it good and gorgeous and like just such a great atmosphere to celebrate something special. So, yeah.
And I will say, when you're going to a really fancy restaurant like that, it is kind of hit or miss with the staff.
Oh, facts.
The staff at like really fancy restaurants sometimes can be really prudish. Like if you're not coming dripping in designer or something. And I have to tell you,
I have had that experience at Walters. Like,
I was gonna say I've never had it there, but I've only gone a couple of times.
Yeah.
More often than not, I haven't had that.
Yeah.
At Walters, I would say.
Yeah, no, Walters, I would say they have a very diverse staff. So like, literally some fresh from Italy, like because Walter was from Tuscany, like, and so.
Can I ask a question?
Our waiter last night. Yeah.
Is saying fresh off the boat like problematic?
I don't know.
Because there's that TV show Fresh Off the Boat. I think there's a way that you
say it. Like that
I don't
seems like
obviously
something that's
like intention. I'm not worried about intention. I'm just saying like impact. You know how like they say intention and impact. Are we allowed to say fresh off the boat?
I don't know.
Okay, because
I feel like that's why I was like fresh from Italy.
Yeah, but I just was thinking like that is kind of restaurants like that would be absolute. Like if you are new in a foreign country, like going there, like if I were in Italy and there was like an American burger place, like I could go and be like an authentic, or a barbecue pit or something. But I was going to say like, oh yeah, people come fresh off the boat. It almost is like they just follow their nose was what I was wanting to say. Like fresh off the boat, follow your nose, find the food that is like your home.
I feel like it's said more. See, I'm just meaning like they are obviously like
native to
Italy or like.
Weigh in. I feel like steak fresh off the boat is fine. I'm also, but I'm also learning to be more sensitive with things that I could say that have an impact that I don't appreciate.
I feel like it's more like the connotation in which you say it, and if you're saying it as if like
if you're trying to be racist, then it's racist.
Yeah, there. Okay.
I feel like that's a general thought.
Moral of the story
is
if you're not
Walters,
racist.
What did you get for your main?
Oh, I get the pasta sampler every time.
Okay. Yeah.
The pasta sampler is 2 of one of their raviolis, 2 of another ravioli, their fresh gnocchi, and their limoncello pasta. I was gonna say,
did they do that? You did the lemon.
The limoncello pasta is my everything. If you could figure out how to make that by my next birthday,
honey, it's so I'm sure
good.
I'm sure it's spiritual. Not like I'll try it because I'm sure it's not terribly complicated. But see, I don't experiment with pasta as much right now because Steven doesn't eat pasta. He doesn't eat gluten, so. It's hard for me to
cook with alcohol enough to like understand
proportion,
how to make the sauce.
Agreed.
But I feel like it honestly is probably limoncello, a lot of cream Parmesan. Or like cream Parmesan and
black pepper.
No, because I don't even think there is any black pepper in it. Like it's a sweet pasta.
Wait, I'm trying to think. I thought mine had a little, but maybe mine didn't.
Maybe. Oh, they do crack pepper on it.
Maybe that's what I'm referencing. Because I like the play of limoncello. I mean, it's so sweet and yet has like, it finishes savory. Maybe that's the black pepper, but that is so gorgeous. Okay, what did Traven get? Good.
Traven got the carbonara. My dad got a lasagna to share for the table. And I was
I'm so sorry.
No, because here's the thing. Kevin does dinners.
Hang on one sec. When I asked you what you were doing for your birthday, and you said we're going to Walters for dinner, I didn't realize there were more than just you and Traven, because now you're making it sound like this was a whole, like Kevin was there. Let me guess, Molly.
Molly was.
So was it just the 4 of you?
Oh yeah, so Molly was there.
Anyone else?
No.
You want to lie?
Just me and Traven.
Don't lie.
Just Molly, Kevin, me, and Traven.
Okay, and did they not have tables with 6 people?
They were all full. All of the 6 tables, yeah.
I'll like to see it, and I'd like to talk to my lawyer.
I have a B-reel that proves that the entire restaurant was so full, so like the fullest it's ever been.
When you made the reservation, they didn't have a 6 top?
Yeah.
When did you make the reservation?
So Kevin actually made the reservation.
Hi, Kevin. What camera's mine?
That one. That one.
Hi, Kevin. Hey. Well, actually, I can't really be like, I just realized I can't be like, thanks for not inviting us.
Yeah.
On account of.
And I was waiting for you to get there. And I was waiting for him to get there. Which is that, Kevin, if you want to speak to him directly, we'll send you a message after this.
I don't want to. I'm not even making eye contact with the camera.
Maybe if I got a certain invite, then you might have gotten a certain invite. And now we're in a turf war.
Fair. Sorry, Kevin. I take back what I said. Steph, you got invited, and you didn't invite me.
Because I invite Kevin places. And it's my birthday. You can't be mean to me.
That's true. I'm not mad. Okay, and Kevin got lasagna for the table.
Oh, lasagna for the table. Kevin loves to order an entree and share, like at an Italian restaurant. Not Walters because they don't do pizza.
But that is kind of like family style. Like that's very Italian food coded anyway. Yeah.
But Kevin, if we go to like Sicilia Mia, he'll get a pizza as an appetizer. So we all can have like a couple slices of pizza as our appetizer.
Kevin knows how to do food. Honestly, like I mad props. Major respect.
Yeah, no, Kevin has eaten out for dinners for work for a long time. So when he shows up for dinner, he's ready.
Kevin, can you give us your top 5 tips for eating out, like for his wisdom of like, do the app thing, here's the good tip thing, here's how to make the reservation, like maybe just 5 food thoughts from Kevin.
Ooh, I love this idea.
And then we'll put it on whenever you get it to us next week or the week after. Okay, we would love to have that input. But all in all, it was a really good birthday.
It was perfect. I went to Color Me Mine again with my friend Talia.
Nice.
We were there for 5 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
But like both of us have ADHD and hyperfocus.
So how many projects did you start and then just walk away? No.
Because when you hyperfocus, I'm like, I will sit here until it's done because this is what's on my mind. Last time we went, we were there for 4.5 hours. So I think we actually did we won this time because we beat our score.
Yeah.
We actually were there long enough that the people were like, okay, so the next reservation is coming in.
On like a random afternoon too, which is so funny. Okay. But what you didn't say what you were painting or what you were
so I did bowls. They're like little, almost like small ice cream bowls.
Cute.
If it's like a serving size for ants. But I was like, they would be cute for like trays and like snack trays and different things like that.
Dips or things, yeah.
So I did these bowls. And then on the bottom, there's like a little Italian phrase, but they're like all these multicolored bowls. But I did 4 different ones.
4 different styled bowls or 4 different?
Same style.
Different design.
Different colors.
I love.
Same design, but like different colors. So they like different
they coordinate,
but the same.
They're not matchy.
Yes, I did copy something online.
That's okay.
Because I've never had an original thought in my life.
Yes, you have.
I'm so much better artistically to copy something.
Oh, yeah.
But
that's just inspiration.
Yeah.
I think when we're using words like copy, it's like me, opposed to like I'm just inspired by other things.
You're so right. No, like I was just inspired because there's plates.
And you made your own thing.
Yeah.
Yours was you put them into bowls. It was different. And
no, I do love Color Me Mine though. My only qualms is that like what I really want to go there and do is like a huge platter. But I don't, to me, I like see.
You don't want to take out a loan?
No, it's not even that expensive. It just is more that I'm like, it wouldn't be that cost effective for them. Like, I mean, I guess it is expensive if you're like, okay, that bowl was like $16.
Right.
But like, to me, I'm like, well, I'm there for 3 hours. Like,
you're paying for the experience, not the product.
Experience, not the product. But then it's like a plate is like $45, but it's like last time we went, Talia did her birthday plate. So like you make a birthday plate and then whoever birthday it is, they get to eat off of the birthday plate.
I have one.
Yeah. And so like, I'm like, that's an experience. That's something you remember. That's like, I get to use it cost per use, you know?
Girl math.
So I'll send you a picture of those because they do need to be featured in the carousel.
Yes.
Talia did some trinket dishes. And one of them, she did a wiener dog. And it was so
oh my gosh, that's so cute. Wait, will you put picture? Make sure you send me those to put in.
She's like, I think I'm going to do a wiener dog. I'm like, you should. You give off wiener dog energy. And she was like, what?
What's so crazy to me is that wiener dog is a dachshund, and that sometimes messes with my brain. I'm like, no, that's a wiener dog. They're like, no, I love the dachshund. I'm like, Wait, did you know that I had a dachshund?
You've had every single type of dog.
We
Pug,
did.
Newfoundland, Dachshund, Cocker Spaniels, Cavapoos.
But I'm saying I personally had one. I've only had a pug and then a dachshund, dog-wise. Everything else my family had. Our dachshund was named Stella McCartney.
Wait, you had a dachshund?
I'll have to tell you about it offline.
Got it.
Don't forget to tell me.
Yeah,
Don't forget to remind me. But yeah, a really beautiful piebald, meaning like brown, black, and white dachshund named Stella McCartney. Gorgina. Okay, we got to do some 3GBs because I didn't realize that we kind of went off.
We're chatting. We're off the rails.
The front part of my brain was like, beep, 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 boop, boop, boop. And then back part of my brain is like, look at the time, Walker. Look at the time. That's actually a really good representation of what the back of my voice, back brain voice sounds like. Okay, do you want to do your 3GBs first, or want me to go?
I only consumed like 2 things this week because I'm trying to get through a very long book and I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it, so I won't even talk about it yet.
Okay.
First thing, Summer House this season, so good.
Incredible.
So good. I freaking love Summer House.
Are you totally current?
Yes.
Paige reading Kyle to the point where Kyle's own wife has to leave Kyle and goes up to Paige's room to cry with Paige and be like, I just don't want you to be mad at me.
I would rather jump in the pool with 1,000-pound vest on than fight with Paige.
Agreed.
She is so quick.
Wait, I have a question.
And sharp.
Who would you rather fight? Paige DeSorbo or Madison LaCroix?
I'd rather die.
No, you have to pick. Who are you taking on? Let's do pros. So for those of you that don't know, for context, Madison LaCroix is on Southern Charm. Summer House and Southern Charm are sort of like companion shows in a lot of ways, in large part because there's crossovers, because Paige from Summer House was dating for several years Craig from Southern Charm. Madison LaCroix is a very outspoken. First off, these two women could not be more gorgeous if they tried. And bright, capable, articulate as hell, super argumentative when they want to be, and both really scary. Here's what I think. I think I'm way more afraid of Madison.
I was gonna say that.
Because I think Paige is she is softer, and I think she wants to have a good time more. I think Madison is
cutting. Madison is cutting, and she also is like, and I'm gonna find something else about you, and then I'm gonna keep that hidden until I need to use it. She says things that are targeted. Versus Paige will just call you out in the middle of the argument.
Paige is a responder. I don't think she's a provocateur.
That's true. And she also responds within the bounds of the argument. She's not like, and 2 summers ago you were doing this. Right. Like, versus Madison will literally be like, and your mom hates you.
Fully.
And you're like, well, why do you have to bring that up?
Yeah. So if you're watching Summer House and Southern Charm
both this season,
I think you can just watch this season. Those shows are, yes, there's so much history, and if you want to go back to get the history, watch it. But there's also a lot of entertainment.
I will say Southern Charm, you could start last season too and still be totally fine.
Yeah, because
last season was really good of Southern Charm.
Well, and same with, unlike some of the Housewife franchises where there's people on the exact same, seasons, for season after season, Southern Charm and Summer House have both turned over a lot of cast members. So even if you were to get invested with someone from season 1 or 2, they're likely not in season 8 and 9 like we're in now. So I think it's okay for you to just start this year. That's a definite G for our GB. And then the other one is Traitors. You had listed, which we're going to have to talk about.
We are going to talk about towards the end. Everything I Needed and More from the finale.
Now, mine is Traitors UK.
Oh, okay.
I started that. So they released all of Traitors UK.
Are they doing celebrities or normal people?
Normals. Yeah. Normies. Celebrity will be next season. And I saw Courtney Cox was cast as the Celebrity UK. So season 4 of the UK will film in the summer and air in the fall in the UK, and then we get it in the winter.
Okay.
I think that's how it works. Because then see, how it works is the UK films in the same castle first with a lot of the same challenges, and then they film the US, but then in the United States they release the US version first, and then the UK's version's already been released in the UK. Anyway, I love Claudia so much, the host. I love Alan and I love Claudia. The hosts are everything. And the accents. The thing about British accents. If it's like British, if it's scripted, it feels like, okay, I don't really care about the accents.
No, I love it.
When it's Love Island UK.
I love to listen to a reality TV show where they are talking in British accent. It literally fuels me. I will talk like this for the rest of the episode. I love it so much.
Yeah, my British is always a little bit more like Cockney. It's got a little bit more.
See, and I don't
trashy.
even know where I'm from, but like it's so good in it.
Can I talk to your
hands
hands
I can't be asked.
Can I talk to your hands for a second?
Yeah.
Your hands just started doing the voice. You're like, I don't know.
Can't be asked.
You have to watch that whatever types.
I love a British accent.
It's really good. So if you're sad that Traitors is over, please pick up Traitors UK. They also have Traitors New Zealand, Traitors Australia, Traitors Canada.
There's a lot of Traitors.
It's spreading around, which is great. I watched the Paradise finale. That's the Sterling K. Brown, James Marsden.
So many people say things about Paradise. Is it a stressful show?
So it's a little stressful, but not crazy.
Okay.
This is what bothers me, and this is a little bit of a spoiler. So spoiler.
No, I don't want a spoiler.
No. It's not a contextual. It's a thematic.
Okay.
Like, I hate when there's a bit of a mystery for 8 episodes.
Yeah.
And then in the 9th episode, which is the finale, they introduce a brand new character and a brand new dynamic, and that's the solution to the murder. So the whole season, we were introduced to potential suspects or like potential elements of the story that were like, is it this? Could it be that? Oh, maybe it's this. Maybe it's this. Mm-hmm. And then when you know it's the season finale and it opens with a completely different, like, you never saw this coming. Yeah, no duh. Because you didn't tell us anything. That it was just, Paradise was so good up until the finale. Then the finale it's a B for me. It's a bad. Simply because I want to really be hoodwinked when they go back and they show me all of the Easter eggs from episodes 1 through 7 that then make sense in 8.
Yeah.
Not episode 8 comes in and you're like, but what about, wait, why would you, who is doing that? So
who, what, when, where, why?
Just so you know, the concept of it is, they're underground because there was like a nuclear war. And so they're in this underground facility and the president is murdered. Yeah. And so you're trying to figure out who it is. And what's just so annoying is that they didn't need to do what they did. The writers could have done better.
Yeah.
Speaking of better writing, Lady Gaga's new album starts out so good.
Okay.
And then it just slowly fades. I'm so sad.
Really?
Her 7th studio album, Mayhem, starts out with like Mayhem, Abracadabra, Celebrity, Killer. Like those bangers are like real dancing, phenomenal.
Yeah.
But then, and it ends with the Bruno Mars, if the world
yeah.
It's just a bizarre, it just sort of feels like the party, and I get that maybe the arc is like the party ends and then we kind of, the craziness subsides and we're stumbling out. Like maybe that's what she's going for. I wanted to like the last third, maybe even half of the album more than I did, but the first half
is good, or
2/3 is excellent. But the real excellence of Lady Gaga this week was her on SNL.
Yeah.
Phenomenal performance, really experimental, her songs that she did, because she does Abracadabra, which was great, but that she does Killer, I think it's Killer, throughout the set with dancers moving, like not just a stage performance. Really interesting, really good. She is a performer. she is an artist, but she's also like a performer.
She's an entertainer.
She is an entertainer. She is, because I'm an entertainer. What is it? What's Erica Jane? I'm an entertainer.
Dorit, I'm a showman.
I'm a showman. She is a showman. She's phenomenal. And the acting is really, really good. One of her skits, she plays like old, washed up Lady Gaga in the future, trying to like have this handyman remember her songs. And Kenan Thompson is the handyman. And anyways, it's
so funny.
She's like self-deprecating. Mm-hmm. Her monologue is pretty self-deprecating about Joker Part 2.
Yeah.
Like it was really, really good. Uh-huh. So I really like I like Lady Gaga. Mm-hmm. I think she is a really good actress as well, just because she's such a showman. Like she's willing to do anything for the bit. And you know how sometimes on SNL when they bring guests on, the guests are like, they're like, I can't believe I'm doing this thing, like Jacob Elordi or whatever, where they're not willing to fully commit to the zany, I'm doing improv. This is like Melissa McCarthy commits fully. She will down a bottle of ranch. She will take her chest and cover it in chocolate sauce and put it on the window.
I love Melissa McCarthy.
I love her so much. But I'm saying she's the person who will go hard.
You know, you're making great points, because like my mom watched Shane Gillis episode and she was like, that man is not funny, which like he's a super popular comedian right now. Right. But I was like, she's like, he was the same person in every single skit. Right.
Because what SNL is really trying to do is it's really improv. Yeah. And improv-ish. It's scripted improv, but you have to be willing to go.
Are built different.
Yeah.
Like they
Amy Schumer, not Amy Schumer, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Maya Rudolph, Kristen Wiig, Will Ferrell. Amy Schumer
is like a lot of improv.
Yeah, because she has her skit.
Yeah, her sketch comedy show was like a lot of just like
kind of that whatever world.
Role. Yeah.
Genius. And I love that Lady Gaga was willing to go there. There's also a skit about when you say it's your birthday at a restaurant, but you lied. And this restaurant like turns on you, and it's really good. That's a very, very, very solid SNL. Okay, kiddos, great. If you're listening, the code word will be SNL, because Charlotte has been watching SNL YouTube clips, and then we've been talking about them, which is kind of fun. Okay, that's so last week we had the Oscars. Now we film on Sundays. We try to do that so that way we can encapsulate everything from the week prior, and then a little bit of kind of teeing up for the week to come. Yeah. But we didn't get to talk about the Oscars, so let's go through just the major 5 awards. Uh-huh. And some of the surprises that we had. But before we do, what were just your general thoughts on the Oscars? And let's principally focus on the opening number with Wicked.
Cynthia Erivo is literally the talent of our generation, is what I learned.
Yes.
From that Oscars performance. I was Ariana Grande standing in the wings just watching her. It's like, how could you be Ariana Grande and be looking at somebody singing better than you? Like, right. Because Ariana Grande in her own right,
Somewhere Over the Rainbow was incredible. Talented. And what was so cool about it was that she performed something from Wizard of Oz.
She performed Cynthia something from The Wiz.
From The Wiz, and then they both performed something from Wicked. A really beautiful, tasteful thing for the Oscars, which is like, this is multiple movies.
So stunning. Like, every time I watch it, I just sit there like it literally makes you breathless how talented she is. Yeah. And effortless.
And like, let's have a moment to talk about Ariana Grande's Schiaparelli gowns. So she wore the Schiaparelli gown, the little jellyfish gown for the red carpet. Uh-huh. And then for the performance, Schiaparelli was doing parts of shoes in dresses for this latest collection. So he did a custom red shoe, red ruby, and then she's in a ruby red sequin dress. She looked phenomenal.
No.
Cynthia Erivo was in Louis Vuitton. I think it was Louis Vuitton, and then a Vivienne Westwood. And the drama of it looking witchy in a way.
She looks so effortless. And I'm like, and whatever ego she has, double it.
Yeah.
Because like, if I could sing like that, I would be insufferable.
Oh, if I could sing and act and command a room like she can.
I would be insufferable.
My nails would be twice as long. That is how I would be.
I would not talk. I would only sing.
Although, did you see that she was doing press afterward and someone asked her about like how she was getting ready and she talked about using Beyonce's hair care product? And the little joke is that she is bald.
Yeah.
And so she's like, yep, I prep my scalp and everything with Beyonce, whatever her line is. And then a bunch of people were like kind of commenting on it, like, it's like the guys who are shaving, but they're just baby faced. And they're like, what are you? You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Okay. So, generally, here's what I thought on the Oscars.
Yeah.
One, I thought Conan O'Brien did a great job hosting.
Yeah.
His joke
just, like,
to
not
the
my
lead.
funny.
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah.
It's a little.
It was good.
He did the job. It's he got paid like $15,000 or something for it. So it's like by Hollywood standards.
I feel like I should.
$15,000. That's what I'm saying. But most people don't get paid, or they get paid nominal to host the show. That's why like Jimmy Fallon came out saying, "Oh no, I was asked to do it again," and I said no because it's so much work for such little money, and it's days and days and days of prep. But what I will at his joke about like to the lead of Amelia Perez about don't tweet, but if you are going to tweet about me, my name's Jimmy Fallon because of her controversy with Selena Gomez, which Selena Gomez looked incredible. She was wearing that Ralph Lauren number. She just looked old Hollywood, stunning, gorge. But here's what it seemed. Here's my general thought. This is going to be a controversial take.
Go ahead.
Actually, I'm going to find.
Go ahead. People can't get mad at us. It's my birthday.
I'm going to find what. I'm like, you can't get mad at me because it's Stephanie's birthday.
It's okay. Talia used that excuse at work. Joe was trying to ask her to do work. And she's like, it's my best friend's birthday.
Okay. So, Cheryl Lee Ralph commented about the Oscars. Now, Cheryl Lee Ralph was the mom in Sister Act 2. She's also one of the leads on Abbott Elementary. I love her. She said, I have told people over and over again, the fastest way to an Oscar is either on a pole or having sex. Sex sells, apparently, to the Academy. Here's what I will say. This is my controversial take. Hollywood exposed itself for just being absolute debauchery when the best movie, the lead award goes to a show about prostitution and sex workers, and the director is actively, openly thanking sex workers and talking about how we need to be using them more as part of like his bit. It just, and my sister Chelsea and I were talking about this. It would the biggest of all the movies nominated.
Yeah.
The movie that had the greatest impact in our zeitgeist was Wicked.
Yeah, period.
It was family friendly. It was beyond talented. It was exceptionally well done. The costuming, which it did win the award for, but the set production,
and the guy who won costuming was the first
African American to ever win, first black man to ever win.
That's
which
crazy.
Seems crazy, particularly because he was nominated for other films that were also stunning.
So crazy.
But why can't we just celebrate something that's somewhat wholesome? Why is there constantly like we're trying it's so provocative, and then in the same breath, you know, at Chelsea and I kind of resolved that ultimately the real winners, no one will remember Honora.
Yeah,
they just won't. But Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande and Jonathan Bailey and whatever, Michelle Yeoh, all the they will be known. They will forever be those characters, and we will watch those movies for generations. So that's the real win. But it was just sad watching it, being like, ugh, you guys aren't even you're celebrating things to be like, ooh, we've seen Honora. No one else has, by the way. Very few people have seen Honora. Statistically.
I feel like, particularly with the Oscars, they celebrate like stories that are like, they're like, just nobody's telling this story. It's like nobody's written something, like nobody's writing something as like groundbreaking as this, and like we're really like opening people's eyes to it. And I'm like, I would like to know less.
Yeah.
I would like to know more about Wicked.
Too, like I would like Wicked, but I also was really surprised. I would have been happy if Conclave won. Conclave was a really beautiful movie. It was not inappropriate. I could easily watch that with my family. Like I just don't want to. I don't want to be like one of those like, oh, you dang kids, turn down your music. But I am kind of feeling like just replete throughout the awards show. It was almost like a celebration of debauchery.
I barely watch any of the Oscar movies since like, I don't know, 2012.
Well, you have taste. Yeah.
So like it's hard for me to comment on it because I just am like, I don't know. One thing I didn't really love about Honora is early on she was on Actors on Actors,
blah, blah, blah. You're saying Mickey Madison?
Yes. And she was like openly boasting about that, or not boasting, but being like, we didn't have an intimacy coordinator and I didn't want one and blah, blah. And I was like, and like, why are you saying that? Like, it's also, it's a cool, like, hot thing that you did. It's not
particularly
cool.
With the It Ends With Us. That's,
yeah. I'm like, so that's like my literally like only impression of the film.
Right.
Was from that interview, and I didn't love that.
I had a friend see it, and I asked. She went to all the Oscar movies, and I asked her, "What did you think?" And she's like, "It should have come with unbelievably graphic warning."
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm very surprised this was in like a public theater.
Yeah.
It was like very graphic, very pornographic. It's just unfortunate." But let's go through just the highlights. It did win Best Picture. Shame. Adrian Brody won. The only thing that I have a comment on that is, all of the races kind of like the penultimate award is the Oscar. It is part of the EGOT. Like, I guess if you win an Emmy for it as well, then you're part of the E. But there's all these, the SAG, the BAFTAs, everything is kind of leading up to the Oscars.
Yeah.
And so that for Timothée Chalamet to win the BAFTA for lead actor right before the Oscars, and then he comes and he seems so hopeful, and he's in that canary yellow suit, and he's just like wanting to do like, and then for it to not be him, I just felt sad for him, and he would have been the youngest winner. I also didn't see that.
Also, film. Adrian Brody got up there and spoke for 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
The world's longest speech ever.
Oh my gosh, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Like, you do not have that many people to thank.
I don't even know, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm going to stop myself from saying something.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mickey Madison won Best Actress, which was also kind of sad because here when Demi Moore wins her Golden Globe, and she's talking about how, she was always kind of out of pasture that the rest of the Academy never really looked at her as like a serious actress, and then she just keeps winning. And then
Oscars
she gets the validates are like, right, you're not. We don't consider you a serious actress. And this almost no name Mickey Madison, and not no name, but in the tenure of her career, she's at her very infancy compared to Demi Moore. That's kind of sad for Demi Moore. Best animated film or feature was Flow. I was shocked because it should have been Bad Robot. Did you, or Good Robot?
I haven't watched either of them.
It's so good. That one I think is free on.
What is Flow?
No idea. I think it's Korean. Cat is a solitary animal, but its home is devastated by a great flood. He finds refuge on a boat populated by various species and will have to learn to team up with them despite their things.
Never seen her. And I just feel like it should have been another one. Anyway. But I will say Zoe Saldana won for Emilia Perez. I'm happy for her. She was a part of the two largest grossing franchises of all time, Avatar and Guardians of the Galaxy, and Avengers. To never win, but she's everywhere. And then also be like, she was phenomenal in Lionesses. She's an excellent actress. It's kind of crazy that she didn't win for Avatar.
Colombiana is one of my top 10 movies. She's fire in that movie.
No, she's talented. I'm glad that she's getting her
things and
her accolades.
The last thing I want to report on is Kieran Culkin won, and then his brother Macaulay Culkin was like, I cried, and I love his wife Brenda.
Macaulay Culkin
was like, I cried seeing my brother up there. I was so happy for him, and he was like so genuine, such like a beautiful, genuine moment, which was really cool there. But I want to celebrate, and I know everyone's like, look, Ariana Grande is going to win it next year for Wicked Part 2. This is kind of like what they did with same with Cynthia Erivo, that will win it, and but John Manchu wasn't even nominated, which is a crime.
John M. Chu.
What'd I say?
You keep saying John Manchu.
John M. Chu. What's his middle name?
It is M, but it's John M. We've had this conversation before. You
and
keep saying
what
John
his middle
Manchu.
name is. Okay, it's Murray. Does not help my cause, but he is a man. So maybe I'm just putting people's gender on. I shouldn't assume people's gender. Anyway, I know people are saying like, look, this is kind of like Lord of the Rings, where no award, and then Return of the King won. Had a huge showing at the Oscars. Mm-hmm. I hope Wicked is like that for next year because I cannot wait for Wicked Part 2, which they announced it. They're calling it Wicked for Good. Yeah, it's so good. Okay, other stories here. Speaking of movies and huge news is Harry Potter is getting a facelift, so to speak.
Is it John Lithgow who was cast as Dumbledore?
Okay, so
he played Churchill in what's it called? The Crown. John Lithgow, I think is his name.
He's in talks.
No, he said he accepted the role.
But the article you gave me said it was in talks.
Maybe it's outdated. So John Lithgow said he accepted the role, and he's like, it pretty much will be like, I'll be 87 at the wrap party. Like, this will be the last big thing that I do in my career. And you know what? John Lithgow is extremely talented. I am here for it.
Yeah, and I don't think we give him credence because we kind of treat him. Oh, yes. Okay. Here it is. So it says...
I know that
he is the first major signing, so he is cast. Yep.
There is 2 people who
Which Lithgow could have been nominated for Conclave, by the way. He was excellent.
Oh, yeah, true. There are 2 people in talks or in contracts or like negotiating right now. Minerva and Snape.
Yeah. Well, Snape has been signed.
Has he been signed?
Yes, I read that. Yes, for sure. It says...
Okay.
Yes, he's been signed. No, he's been offered the role. Offered the role.
Okay.
And I don't know how to pronounce his name. Do you know how to pronounce his name?
I don't know. It looks like Papa.
Paapa, Papa, or Pepa. I don't know. Or then Esidu. Essieudu.
No idea. I would love to learn.
First off, a gorgeous man.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, Alan Rickman was 54 when he first was cast in the role, and this man is 34. So it's a really different, which I'm kind of okay with. Yeah. I'm okay with
it seems letting like they Harry Potter casting the teachers a little bit younger.
Yes. And I'm okay with that because I think when we're looking at retelling the story, let's just be clear, like Harry Potter is a phenomenal story. I know J.K. Rowling has some controversial stuff. I don't want to touch that. But I'm just like the story that she created, the world in which she operates, someone posted on social this week, my number one fear is that Harry Potter or that Hogwarts is real and I'm a muggle and I just don't realize that there's an actual wizarding world. Like that layer to be able to have a wizarding world embedded into our real world that we very well could just be
completely
genius.
Unaware of.
It's such beautiful writing. I understand that when we were first doing Harry Potter 25, 30, forever many years ago on the movies, we just didn't have technology to really bring a visualization to the story. Yeah. And that's what I think they're trying to do with the new revamping of the show. Like we have so much more technology, the limitations on it. And, Peeves, for example, was never even in the movies, but he's a huge character, part of the show, part of the books. So to have an entire season, 16 hours of a movie based on one book is awesome. Like it's going to be amazing. With that said, I also appreciate the perspective of people who are saying, I would have loved to have gotten more of the world in story form, not in visual form. So why can't we write about Sirius Black's family? Can we get more backstory about Dumbledore? Can we get more backstory about Minerva? Can we get more backstory about Snape? Yeah. I like that idea, but I also, more is more to me on this. And so I'm not hating on this at all. Yeah. And I think people that find something else to be mad about.
True. Touch grass, please.
Touch grass.
My biggest advice to the powers that be is like, I want it to feel like the movies, to feel like the books, in that like the lightness and just like magic and whimsy of the first few books arcing to when it like starts to get more serious in nature and like, we're fighting
an actual evil
dictator, creature, etc. Like, I want the first season to feel whimsical and not like, intense. And obviously there's like some intensity towards the end of the movie, but like I want that magic to remain.
And I know that it's HBO, and my one advice is, hey, let's not Game of Thrones Harry Potter. Let's let Harry Potter be its own joyous, beautiful, fun, but also please don't try to make it current and political. Like, let it be fanciful. Don't try to telegraph new messaging through these stories. I don't think that's what we want. I want escapism TV with Harry Potter. I don't need it to be like some sort of mirror to society that you're trying to be like, well, we need to, that.
No, I want no liberties taken.
I want none. I want
in the dialogue, in the story, in the canon.
Agreed.
Don't give me anything new unless literally J.K. Rowling wrote it out.
Agreed.
Like, I don't want...
Let that... I completely agree with you. Let that be the thing.
Yeah.
All right. Our third and final kind of category of advice to give is the Traitors finale. So Traitors season 3, and if you guys are listening, spoilers. Ding dong, ding
if you
dong,
haven't
spoilers.
watched the
Hey, who's
finale,
there? It's a
stop
spoiler.
listening. We
Hi,
love you so
open
much.
the door if you want to. It's a spoiler.
You're the best. Thank you for listening. Please stop.
Like and subscribe.
And if you don't watch Traitors, then you can keep listening.
Yeah, if you don't really care and you just want to hang out with us, what up, queen?
Hey.
Okay, give your thoughts on the finale.
I could not have written a better finale of what I wanted to happen.
Yes.
I hated Danielle with every fiber of my being. I wanted her to be betrayed so badly.
Now, for those of you, for context, for the very few that maybe don't know Traitors, this the last 2 seasons, this season and last season, and then the first season had half celebrity, and I'm using celebrity a little generously, and then half lay people. This one are all like people from Bravo, competition shows.
I loved that half and half.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I thought it gave such an interesting power dynamic.
Yeah, but there was no power amongst the celebrities.
I agree.
But what I will say, I like the all
famous.
celebrity. In the UK version, they're all lay people. And the thing that I like about that, I will say, is that those people are really wanting the money.
Yeah.
Like, they are there for the money.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more
Celebrities
cutthroat.
are not fighting for the money or that hard.
Of it.
Yeah.
But
like that's my thing too, and like that's why I did like the half and half, is because for the challenges, like the amount of money that they would be winning is life-changing amount of money for some of these like lay people. And for a celebrity, it's like
that's what they wore. That was their outfit.
This is very helpful for me, but like it's not changing your life. Like, and I don't know, maybe somebody on Big Brother.
Using celebrity a little bit loosely in some ways.
Oh, these are D-list.
Like, let's be honest.
F-list.
Well, no, I'm saying like Carolyn, who we pray at the altar.
Yeah.
But she just did 1 season of Survivor.
Yeah,
like,
that's
she's
fair.
not. These are opposed to like Britney Spears' ex. He doesn't need any money. Dylan Efron, he doesn't need any money. Dolores, she's wealthy as hell. Like
Dorinda might need money.
Yeah, she could probably, if she's going to refloor the Bluestone Manor, she needs some coin. But Chrishell Staub, these people are making millions of dollars doing endorsement deals and whatever.
But then it's like, it doesn't become interesting when you do the challenges, because I'm like, none of these, Tom Sandoval needed the money.
Yeah.
But none of these people, like most of these people don't need the money.
Yeah. And so it's not as, it's just they're doing the show. They're doing it for the experience, and we're just getting to watch.
Yeah.
And I think that is relevant there. But so, okay, we hated Danielle, and I similarly was on
I hated Danielle the entire time. Her overacting and like the way
I told you.
She was shaking the entire time.
With
and
that
like,
horrible hat from JCPenney.
I was just like, you guys, like, how are you buying this? Like, it was so obnoxious.
Well, it's what got her sent home, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she got betrayed by Brittany.
Which was, so I watched that season of Big Brother. Now, Brittany and Danielle were on Big Brother together, and that is a show of backstabbing and betrayal, and Brittany backstabbed Danielle. Danielle got eliminated.
Yeah.
Danielle, like, could not let it go X amount of years later. Brittany clearly had moved on. But then the show was trying to, like, create this relationship between Brittany and Danielle that just didn't seem super authentic. In fact, at the reunion, Brittany even highlights that. Like, we haven't spoken in years.
Yeah, they edited it, I think.
They edited it to make it look like we had this
They're
big
so
thing,
close.
but we don't. We haven't spoken really since the show. or since Reindeer Games, which is a Big Brother spinoff.
Yeah.
So I was really happy when Brittany got to betray Danielle. Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, ugh, thank goodness.
Yes. And then my number one for most of the season, or my number 1 and 2 were Dylan Efron and Gabby. Oh, I loved both of them so much.
Gabby is so freaking funny.
Yeah, she propelled herself into stardom. I mean,
she already was like the very first episode of the guy being like, what were you on? She's like, The Bachelor. He's like, oh, how did that work out for you? I'm gay now.
Like, yeah, her voice is everything. Like, she did what she needs to do to solidify herself to be on future TV shows. Carolyn did the same thing. Like,
what I do appreciate what I do appreciate about like the game players, like from Big Brother, Survivor, etc., and what I think the Housewives need to get on board with is that this is a game.
Yeah.
Dorinda at the reunion was like snapping at Bob the drag queen, and Bob was like, it's a game, babe. Like,
this
I don't know.
This is a TV show, sweetie. We both got cast. Like, we got paid to make TV, and we did. MoveOn.com.
And she was like trying to make it a reunion moment, and I'm like, Dorinda, nobody cares, and you're just looking sad.
Yeah, and like, looking sad with that haircut. Like, so, that was not great for her. You
cannot take these things personally, because everybody else on that couch, Wes, Derek, Bob, were just kind of like, it's a game. Like, I would have made the same choice. It's a game.
Yeah, and I think what they do is that they are like, look, we're professionals.
Yeah.
We're making a TV show. We know the bit.
I'm a professional game player.
I'm a professional reality star.
No, and like Wes being like, I'm the greatest game player ever. None of you matter. I believe him.
Yeah,
he would have. Even Rob, who's like, yeah, I would have taken Caroline to the. No, I probably would have betrayed her.
I would have. Yeah.
It's like, okay, but I know exactly who you are. Like,
and it's just like last season when CT and Chrishell vote out MJ, not because they think MJ is an actual traitor, but because they're like, we want to split the money because more money is more money.
Yeah.
And MJ, who had no gameplay experience,
was just like,
what? But there's also a sentence of it where it's like, who earned it?
Yeah.
If these coasters, like, that was the only downside to me for the thing was Ivor. No, the only downside about this one is Ivor shouldn't have won. Dolores shouldn't have won. They didn't do anything. Gabby and Dylan should have eliminated Ivor, and they should have eliminated Dolores. Now, Dylan would never, and Gabby would never. If they were true gamers,
they would
have, because they know that they didn't actually do anything.
No, and also it's like
when Andy says to Dolores, well, you voted wrong 8 out of the 10 rounds. She's like, yeah, it's my life. I was like, right. Yeah. That's not a resume for someone to be awarded the win.
Well, and he's like, you just kept voting for Tom. She's like, yeah, well, he's pissing me off. Like, but that's where I'm like, yeah, you're not a game player. Dylan and Gabby were game players.
Yes.
Gabby was extremely intelligent the entire time.
She created alliances. She was willing to, like when Danielle said, blah, 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 I think you're very smart. And she goes, I didn't say I was dumb. And I was just like,
I voted for Rob twice. So did I.
Right.
Like, that's not what you think it is. So I agree with you, but I also was just like so happy that they just settled.
Yes. If it had been like the theatrics and the drama before, their public image would have been hurt because fans of Dolores would have said, how dare you? Yeah. Like, people wouldn't have appreciated the game move.
No, and especially because none of them are gamers.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
if it was Rob, we all would have been like, woohoo, Rob got them all out.
Totally.
But like, what was like so interesting though about that final fire pit, like the interesting dynamic of it all is that the first season where it was like half
Suri
normals,
and the two
Suri and Ari from Bachelor.
Yes, and then
she throws the red in, and she's like about to expose him pretty much. He can tell, and he's like, I'm not going to be a villain again, because he was a huge villain on his Bachelor season. And he immediately is like, hey, I'm out. I'm not doing this. Because he could tell that she was going to expose him, and he's like, I'm not going to look bad. Mm-hmm. And then she
was a traitor.
Yeah.
Suri was a traitor. And
it's just
the shook factor.
Dynamic.
Now, I will tell you, I think it's Australia season 2 or 3, or maybe, I think it's Australia. I don't think it's New Zealand, where the only people left are traitors around the circle. They got everyone else out.
Oh.
And they have to decide, are they going to split the money or keep the money? And if there's 3 of them, and if all of them say split, the 3 traitors split. But if one of them says keep and the other 2 say split, then that person takes all of it. And if the other person whoever says keep, as long as one person says split, the people get to keep it. So we would split it. The traitors they recruit, these 2 guys recruit an older woman as kind of like she was most onto them. So they recruit her so that she can't out them. And they're like, we're all going to split, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. And then the first guy goes and he says, take. And he goes, I worked way too hard. I was a traitor this entire game. Whatever. And the other guy says, I was a traitor this entire game too. I think you and I are the ones that deserve to split this.
Yeah.
Cuts to her. And then she shows it and she said, I knew you were going to do this.
Yeah.
And so if I wasn't going to get any money, boom, no one's getting any money. And she said, take as well. So nobody got any money that season. All the money was zeroed out. And I'm going to say, I'll have to find it. Maybe I'll find it for the carousel. But that level of gameplay was only possible because they were lay people who were just out for the money. They were gamers, like pure gamers. That is really, really interesting to me. And so I just started the 3rd season of the UK, and I'm already seeing it's hyper game focused, which I love.
Okay, yeah.
So you're going to have to watch that one.
Okay, let's fan cast next season. Okay. I did see a person mention, which we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I haven't seen this show. The guy from The Jury.
Oh,
show.
Yes.
He would be like the good guy, Pilot Pete, Dylan Efron foil.
Okay, wait, I'm going to do Traitors.
I can't remember his name. I think they need more than one drag queen on at a time to like foil personalities, because I think people who are not around drag queens and that type of personality, like, they need a foil. Like, I think they need another person. Like, if they did not Twyla. I want to say Twyla every time because that's her name on Dungeons and Drag Queens.
Oh,
Jujubee and Monet Exchange.
Yes.
Would be such a good, like.
But even, I don't know if so I
Monet
found
Exchange
this article
is too similar to Bob the Drag Queen.
Yeah, I found this article of Dreamcast for next season, and let's just go through and say yes or no, and if not them, who would we have instead?
Okay.
That would be like related to them.
Cool.
So they have Jax Taylor.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But I would say opposite that, because I don't like this sort of whatever, and then they also have Katie Maloney. I think it should be
Maloney would be
Katie
excellent.
Maloney and Tom Schwartz. Because just a funny dynamic. Who's that? That's an ex-husband.
Yeah.
And what I don't want is the swarmy Jax Taylor opposed to like kind of simpleton Tom Schwartz. And
Tom
I would
Schwartz
just love
would be the good guy.
That's just it. Like, I think that'd be a really funny dynamic.
So lovable too. He'd make it so far.
Now they're saying Joey Grazidy from The Bachelor.
Wait.
From The Bachelor.
Oh, okay.
Who were you thinking?
I thought you were saying Joey
Fatone.
No.
Because I'm saying him.
That's funny. No, Joey. He's Snooki's best friend. He has a podcast on.
Joey. Oh, yeah. What is his name? He'd be hilarious.
So good.
Yeah, because you need people that are.
Somebody from Jersey Shore would be good though too.
I think Snooki's on here.
Okay.
Okay, Nene Leakes. Agreed. Nene Leakes is icon. It is a little too coded like Phaedra, because Phaedra and Nene are really similar.
I don't know
bombastic.
if Nene would be so good on it because.
But which housewife? Who would you replace her with a housewife?
I think Giselle would be excellent.
And I think Bethany Frankel would be excellent.
I think Bethany's too famous.
That's probably true. But I do love her. Or imagine you guys, Lisa.
Lisa
Barlow. Like our Salt Lake City representative.
Lisa Barlow could do it. I think you could put Heather on. Oh, Angie would be good.
And Gina or Emily Simpson.
Oh, Emily would be good.
Emily Simpson would be great too, because she's a lawyer, super bright, but also like willing to call
Emily
people out. Emily Simpson is my house cast. She's my housewife cast.
Yeah.
All right, they are suggesting Paige DeSorbo. Now, you know why Sierra was on.
Yeah, because Lindsay was supposed to be pregnant.
But yeah. But I think Paige would be great.
Yeah.
They're saying Spencer Pratt from The Hills.
Oh, he would be excellent.
And Heidi, that they're saying they should have both of them on there. Heidi and Spencer.
The couple,
like that was the whole
dynamic.
Michael Jordan.
The problem with Spencer being on it is like he would need to be a faithful because he would be such a good traitor. He'd be
such a maniacal traitor. Like he'd be just good TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they have Bianca Del Rio as the drag queen.
Traven said that last night. He's like, it would be so good,
choice.
Bianca Del Rio.
Or Katya.
But Bianca Del Rio would be a great
opposite of
a very flamboyant drag queen.
Yeah, or
like
of like
Mattel.
a Sasha Colby or Trixie Mattel.
Like
yes.
Bianca Del Rio would be such a good one.
Bowen Yang.
Okay.
Which would be kind of a cool, like, I don't know how he would do that with his schedule.
I think he's a little too famous.
Tyson from Survivor.
Let me see.
Tyson Apostol. He lives in Utah. He's a professional pickleball player now.
Oh, okay.
But he was a phenomenal, he was on Blood versus Water. He's a fan favorite. Survivor.
I never watched Survivor, so I don't know.
He's a really, really good Survivor pick. He's I wouldn't say status of like Sandra, Parvati, and Rob. What?
I was just in my head was like, and who's going to be our token British person? Dame Judi Dench.
Maggie Smith's dead, right? Okay. No, I would say
because I need an old British lady, Susan Boyle.
Oh my God, who wants to kill her? Who's gonna be like in the turret?
Susan Boyle would be so good.
Susan Boyle as a traitor. I do think we should murder. Oh, that's so funny.
Bring in Susan Boyle.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay. They're selecting a couple of people from the challenge, which I think bringing in some of these gamers. Same with bringing like Devon from Big Brother and the challenge. Bringing in
I
Devin.
do think it would be interesting to bring in people who are more famous.
So here are some of the other ones that they're thinking.
I like Martha
Alec
Stewart.
Baldwin. Hoda Kotb. Because she just retired.
Yeah.
She'd be like a fun choice. I just want whoever they bring to be knowing that it's a gameplay, and I want them also. I will say Bob Harper did a good job this season of like creating a little bit of moments. I wish that his entire season wasn't sponsored by Tom Brown, because I would have been more curious to see what else he would have worn besides always being in Tom Brown. I think he had a deal with them. I'm sure of it. But I want also people that are going to bring like the drama, the looks, the shade, the reads, the confessionals. Misguided. Like Bob the Drag Queen, I hope becomes the pulls the show into the casting direction of like same with Carolyn.
Yeah, because he was
super
on like
eccentric,
4
a little
episodes,
zany,
and he had the most one-liners that I remember from the season.
Fully. And when his reunion dress was phenomenal. Like he super cool. But I want them to be moving into even bigger. Trisha Paytas has been in, like, she would be in the talks.
She would be so
She'd be
good.
Hilarious for that.
Do you actually believe that Bob the Drag Queen didn't know who Dorinda was?
Yeah. I think that Bob the Drag Queen, he probably knew.
He seems to me more like he is like, I'm watching documentaries.
Yeah,
like,
I was just
he
gonna say,
seems
he
like an intellectual more than a.
I was just gonna say he also seems like a pretty honest person.
Yeah,
he'd be like, yeah, Dorinda, I never liked you on the season. Yeah. I never liked you, and I hate your Burke. Like the fact that he's willing to go at Zac Efron means that like
so
if he
funny.
were going to, if
one.
he was trying to not be, like if he was trying to be shady, he would just be directly aggressive. He wouldn't have to be like passive aggressive and shady.
So
like,
cute.
I don't know
Our
who you
resident mom Dolores. That was not nice.
That was not nice.
Dylan, your brother's a very good actor.
Yeah.
Like,
the mom at the round table. No, say sorry, Bob. Dylan, no, your brother's a good actor.
That was
Bob,
not nice.
No dessert. Well, a little bit. Okay, and then now that the show's concluded, if you could go to...
I do have a hot take about the show.
Yes.
While there is not a full redemption arc... I do feel like by the reunion... I was feeling like, see, this is why we all loved Tom Sandoval for so long. He did a good job on the show.
He knew how to make TV.
Yes.
He was willing to be, like, I will say the fact that he was being trolled for the reverse singing, the doll singing, Which, keep in mind,
I'm the only person in this castle
with musical
background.
Now, the thing is that that challenge was designed to make people look insane
dumb,
and stupid. Like that's what some of these challenges are for. Like when they have the balloons popping with the clowns, it's all meant just to scare. Like it could just be wrong and move on, but we're creating a show. No one else was willing to expose themselves to be as ridiculous as Tom Sandoval. Now, I don't know if that was just the editing as well, but the fact that he got everything wrong over and over again, the fact that he was consistently like, people, like, whack-a-doo-doo. It was a little endearing.
Like, I'm telling you, this is why we all watched Vanderpump for 14 whatever seasons, and we all liked him. Like, him and Tom Schwartz were like this stupid, silly duo. Like, obviously, he did like something crazy, and there's not a full redemption arc. But I'm like, this is why we all loved Tom Sandoval for so long. Yeah. Like, he really is charming
I don't want to like
funny.
say this because I know it could come back, but like. He's also kind of handsome.
Yeah,
he looked.
I'm so
he
sorry.
Looked really handsome.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for this take. I'm
sorry
it's
for
a
this
hot
take.
one.
Agreed. I'm not saying I want to be best friends with him or that.
No,
like Ariana.
He did redeem himself a little bit though. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was
and the thing is that if Ariana
hate you so vehemently.
If Ariana Madix went on the show, we know exactly what we'd be getting with her. When Tom went on the show, I don't think anybody really knew what we were getting, and we got actually a really surprising positive.
Yeah.
Also, do you know the host on Great British Bake Off, the black girl? What's her name?
Alison Hammond.
She is cast in UK Traitors 4. I saw she was in.
I love her.
The hosts of the hosts of their British Got Talent, I think. Those two guys, those are as well.
Oh, I love her so much.
A really famous podcast.
Excited.
Like I think Courtney Cox is on there. There was like a couple people that I just didn't know at all, but then the ones that I didn't, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be good.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay.
I just love the redemption. I love the redemption of Carolyn.
He was at the table and he said women are more likely to cheat, and all of the girls at the table freaked out. And he was like, no, I'm sorry. Like,
and then on the radio, they're like, what happened? He's like, I don't know, my brain. Oh, like there's so. I love Traitors. I am really excited to get in it. Now that the US season 3 is released, I think we'll start seeing all the others. Like the UK is going to come out, then Australia, New Zealand, whatever. And I just love it's really, really great TV. Although the only TV I'm watching right now is Married to Medicine. Yeah. I sent Steph last night. This is our final thought. I sent Steph a clip of it because I've been wanting you to watch. Yeah. And I've watched it from the beginning.
What season are you on now?
6.
Do I have to start from the beginning?
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
You have to start from the beginning because these women are from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like Mariah, Dr. Contessa, or Dr. Contessa comes in later on, but then Dr. Heavenly is season 2, Dr. Simone season 1, and she stays through 11. Yeah. Jackie 1 through 11, Toya 1 through 11, Quad 1 through 11. Like these women come and
I have another good bad.
Quad.
Okay, so I didn't watch any of the season of Potomac.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I watched the reunion.
All 3 parts or just the most recent one with Eddie?
I think there's only 2 parts. Or is there 3 parts?
There's the 3 parts.
Okay, and this is something that I'm like, and why I will keep watching Potomac. These women like each other.
Oh, yeah. No, these women are actual...
fun.
These women are actual... I think
they're friends, I think. Like,
I don't think they're like... I don't think all of them are friends, but I think they're all like... We love what we do.
Yeah.
We love working together.
We hang out off camera, but like half of the reunion, they all were like making jokes, but then they all were laughing. Like nobody was being targeted unfairly. Well,
Mia wasn't laughing.
Not unfairly, but
yeah,
like,
not unfairly. Yeah, she's a disaster.
Like, nobody was like, it wasn't outrageous. It wasn't like we're going too hard on somebody. It was like, and then this one girl is like acting so delusional, and they're like, Stacey, girl. Come on. Like they're all
even
just like,
Ashley Darby's like, girl, I'm not very bright, but I know this. Like there was
the way that they were just like making fun of her, but like she was just like taking it on the chin. This is why I was like, I will continue to watch Potomac forever, because this is like so interesting. Even with Karen, like none of them were truly being like so salacious and cruel about it.
They also know like it wasn't to her. It wasn't to them. It was that Karen is in a bad spot. Okay, great. Yeah, I loved
it was so
the
good.
reunion was really, really good. And I actually think Andy loved the reunion.
Yeah.
Like someone commented this was Andy's best reunion. And the fact that he goes and sits on the couch, then he's like, I like sitting on the couch with you girls.
Yeah.
You know, then he's like, well, let's FaceTime. Let's get the video in. Let me call control. Like he seemed, because they were watching drama, and for context, just so those guys know what the
drama
what happened was that Stacey, who is the newest housewife, her love interest on the show didn't come to the reunion, and oftentimes they have the men come to the reunion. Hers didn't, and so the other men FaceTime him backstage, and they have it on film saying, "Why don't you come?" And he said, "Because she stopped paying me, and I was just a rent-a-boyfriend." And so like live drama happening on the stage. I just think that he also really loves the women. I think he loves Giselle. I think he loves Ashley Darby. I think he also really loved Stacey.
Wendy would be good on Traitors too.
Wendy would be really
Smart.
good. She would be a really good traitor.
I don't know if I've ever been off on Wendy. Like Giselle, you know, like there are housewives where I'm like, you know, some seasons yes, some seasons no. I don't know if I've ever been off on Wendy.
The thing that I'm where I'm at on Housewives is do I think that all of them are good people? I don't know, because I think they're all making TV shows. Yeah. I don't really care about any of that. I care if you make entertaining TV show, and Wendy has always hit to me. Giselle, I think sometimes could be mean. Like some of the other people, I think like we didn't need to do that to be entertaining. We could have been entertaining a different way. Wendy's pretty good.
Well, I also just think like this season of every Housewives, besides Salt Lake.
Agreed. I've stopped watching Beverly Hills.
I'm so behind on Beverly Hills, and it's like
for context, that one Beverly Hills
is like the highest
performing show on Bravo, and I'm not even watching it.
I watched all of OC, and I didn't watch.
Yeah,
I'm not watching.
I watched
Beverly
all of OC
Hills.
too. I would have rather watched OC. If OC came back on, I would watch OC over Beverly Hills.
I think they're going to have to turn over cast next season.
I think they're going to have to turn over cast. And speaking of casts, it'll be really interesting what happens. There's so much tea coming out about New Jersey. And the thing, I just saw this morning, a little clip on someone saying, oh no, they have shut down. Like there's no talks. They're thinking of just closing out New Jersey and then doing a couple spinoffs. Teresa gets a spinoff. Melissa and Marge will do a product line spinoff, but they need to figure out, there is a problem in Bravo right now. They need to figure out why the housewives, all except for Salt Lake City, are struggling. They really are. Dubai got canceled. Well, Miami's going to come back, but Miami we don't have the same cast. They didn't bring back Dr. Nicole. They didn't bring back, so
Dr. Nicole, though, was of her own accord.
Yeah, but they didn't bring her back. I mean,
no, Miami better be good this season, or else I am concerned about Housewives.
Agreed.
Like usually, I'm like every Thursday whenever it's like I'm on it.
I know my Housewives schedule very, very, very well, and it's missed.
Salt Lake is the only one that I watch consistently this year.
Yep, agreed. Well, no, I watched Potomac consistently because I will say the Karen drama of it all with the DUI, I thought was really interesting. This season of
Potomac was good.
The subject matter was good. All the other storylines, like Mia's artificial storyline about Ink being her son's father when she knew he wasn't, like that's so gross.
At the reunion, admitting that she had that baby through IVF, I was like, "Girl."
And then she's like, I could have already been pregnant.
That's actually how
they
it
test you right then, and she's like, "Yeah, but
idiot.
You may not show if you're pregnant for 3." Like,
yes, you do.
Those are lies that you got used to telling because nobody fact checked you, and then when you're around actually smart women like Wendy and Giselle and Ashley who are fact checking you, and you can't squirm your way around it. I
was like,
she thought she was talking to people doing a podcast, interviewing her, not people challenging her.
Yeah, no.
All right, well, we love you guys. We hope you have a great week, and make sure to drop Steph an extra happy birthday massage because we just love you. We're so grateful for you.
I want a massage from all of you.
No, from everyone.
Yeah.
Ooh. But lots of love to you, my queen. Happy 31st birthday. I thank you everybody for listening and watching. Please follow us on all social media platforms. Good Bad Advice podcast, and like and subscribe on Spotify so you can get those updates and you can watch us on the video and on Apple.
Share with your friends.
Share with someone. Share a clip.
Tell your friends how funny we are.
Yeah.
I was at my birthday lunch and somebody was like, "Oh, and her podcast is amazing." like half the table was like, you have a podcast? I'm like, oh, I don't talk about myself enough.
Yeah, you need to. We need to get business cards. You need to just drop it with
I'm
a
like,
QR
yes, I
code.
do. Here's my.
You should. We talked about doing that. All right, here's the business cards.
Bye.
Okay, bye.